In this video, we're going to be taking a look at Vida for the Saga line, and she was released a little bit later in the line into 2003. If you don't know anything about her character, you're probably not alone, because I actually didn't even know about this action figure until fairly recently. And then when I discovered her, I knew she was a character I wanted to add to my collection instantly, mainly to add to the cantina, which I'm in the middle of setting up right now, and hope to be filming that video here very soon. But I think she would be a great patron to add to that scene. But according to the info here, I would have to go back and check her specific scene in the movie, but she is in the Coruscant nightclub towards the beginning of Attack of Clones when Anakin and Obi-Wan are hunting down Sam Wazell. Like I said, she's probably a blink and you miss character, and she probably shows up in a couple frames, but that's all. But this was back in the era when Hasbro made every character possible that was on screen, and I greatly appreciate that. And I'm glad to add her to my collection. So something a little bit different with this packaging, has Attack of Clones on the side here. That's something that's not quite as prevalent on the initial run of the Saga line for 2002. See the character in the action figure right there. She kind of has this cat suit on. Then the chair there, then the drinking glass. Picture of the character right there. Then Outlander nightclub patron. And she does have quite a bit of lore to her, which is noted on the back here. 2003, number 38. So her description is the consort of local crime boss Hat Low, the beautiful Twi'lek Vida has been tainted by the criminal underworld. She continues to look for an opportunity to escape Low's repressive clutches. After catching the eye of the dapper Republic guard one night at the Outlander nightclub, she hopes the guard will rescue her. Her hope is in vain, for he is an imposter, one of many posers who frequent the clubs for their own nefarious purposes. And I would assume that the Republic guard that's noted here is either this guy or the guy who was played by Ahmet Best. I'm not sure which one. And the character there again, and then Star Wars, kind of showing off the features of it. And the other characters in the line, I do have both dignitaries reviewed on channel, and I would actually like to get all these at some point, especially the Dexter's Diner waitress droid there, WA7. I have seen this action figure in person before, but the comic book shop was asking like $30 for her. Same with Elan here. This Padme would be nice to own. But a lot of these nightclub encounter action figures, especially for the diorama pieces, would be very nice. And they might fit in with the Mos Eisley Cantina as well. But let's go ahead and get her opened up here. I think she'll be a fairly easy one to get open. Bar stool here. Like having a unique cup. And it looks like she did have an elastic band around her, but has deteriorated away in time. Yeah, definitely a great character that'll go in with a cantina display, or even on the Boba Fett's or Jabba's throne room that I have. So I think the paint apps look really good. Definitely one of the better figures from the time, I think. I think she'll fit in great with all the modern TVC figures too. Sculpting work looks really good. Very nice details in her head tails there. Combination of the reddish browns and the yellow orange. She has this collar around her. I'm not sure if that's because her being part of the hut hat low, or if that's just her thing. That's the head accessory there. Nice details. As for her suit, like I said, basically a cat suit. Kind of blends in with her skin color. Initial glance, you would think she has nothing on at all. Even sculpted the belly button for her. But nice design and patterns there. You have her sandals. Articulation seems kind of basic, but good enough. Swivel at the neck there. And swivel shoulders. Don't think anything at the wrists or elbows. That's alright. Nothing at the waist. And swivel hips there. Then they gave her hinged knees. And that's probably to sit on the bar stool. Not the best aesthetic with that hinge there. That's alright. And then nothing in the ankles. And for her one accessory is the cup here, which looks like it pretty much has to go in her left hand. But it fits pretty good. And I like the color and the design of that cup. See how well she stands. And I think I'll be able to work with her. Now this is interesting. Only has one spot for a peg in her foot. And it says the action figure is made in 1999. So I wonder if that's borrowed from, if her feet, for instance, are borrowed from another character. Like one of Jabba's dancers, for instance. Then you have the bar stool here, which looks very nice. It's hollowed out on the inside there. Nice to have accessories like this. And let's see how she fits on it. But yeah, now I'm curious if her tooling is from 1999. She has to be borrowing something from another character. Unless Hasbro just sat on the tooling for like 4 years. You know what? Now that I think about it, I think there was a character from the Phantom Menace that was very similar to her. That was like one of the Twi'leks that was with Sebulba. So she might be borrowed from that. And it looks like she fits all right on the bar stool there. Yeah, she's relatively stable. And she looks really good. When I add her to the cantina, that's probably how I'm going to have her set up. Kind of has to sit at an angle, but that's alright. But I think that's all I can tell you about Vida here. Like I said, glad to finally add her to the collection. But I've only known about her for about a month now at this point. One of those blink and you miss characters and action figures that probably overlooked for a lot of people. In terms of comparisons, I really don't have a whole lot to compare to on hand. Of course, Zamwazell, Anakin, Obi-Wan, all the nightclub patrons that Hasbro's made over the years, like the Republic guards, the security guards, and like Elam, for instance. They would all fit with her perfectly. But I will do a comparison of her in the cantina here fairly soon. Would I recommend her for your collection? I would if you're a big fan of background characters. Cantina, if you do have the Mos Eisley Cantina, she might be a character to consider adding to that display. But yeah, I think she's a really good action figure. Definitely holds up really well. A lot of nice detailing, great sculpting work. I've always been very interested in the nightclub patrons or cantina patrons, the Twi'lek dancers, anything of that sorts. And she meets all those check marks, and yeah, like I said, glad to add her to the collection. But anyways, that concludes this review. I hope you enjoyed it. Stay tuned for playing more in the future. There's always more to come. If you haven't already, please like the video and subscribe to the channel. I appreciate your support. And check out the links in the description if you haven't done so already. And as always, thanks for watching.